Oh boy, I'm live to one person. Super exciting. Hey, this is already better than the last pay per view, which took 6 attempts or something, and I was upside down and sideways, so I'm already ahead of the game. Let's see, for those of you just tuning in, I'm going to try to find a timestamp so we can watch along together. I will tell you when they finish running the package for Backlash. Okay, so if you're watching along, I'll wait till you get to WWE. You know the thing. Let's see. What's up, guys? Glad to see you made it. Just getting everything up. As always, I'm a little slow. It was rough for me to wake up today. I've been awake about 10 minutes. Hopefully, this card will be better than the Greatest Royal Rumble, which would have been difficult to stay awake. Okay, here we go. Warning, unauthorized, whatever. So there's your time marker at 1:10 into the video. Hey, Andrew, good to see you. Let's see. And now we have the WWE fireworks. So if you're trying to watch along later, those are your key points. Maybe I'll be energetic enough to edit out the first minute, but I doubt it. Let's see. Does anybody know what the first match of the night is? I have no clue. And I saw Bailey fighting or wrestling as the case may be, but I was busy trying to get set up and didn't even see who won. Bye. It was good to see you, whoever you were, person I didn't know. Today, I went ahead and put in the description that I'm not showing live video. I'm like everyone else. I'm just watching it along with you. It's painful though because it's right there. I really hope Samoa Joe ends Roman Reigns for about 3 months and they take him off TV and let him go away for a while and then bring him back. If they continue to bring him back week after week, it's just going to get worse and worse. They have a chance now, and they could build Samoa Joe's rep. They really have a chance to do something here that could improve Reigns' quality of life. But they haven't shown the clear ability to do that yet, so I'm sure they won't. Somehow, I have a feeling that Carmella's going to retain tonight. Nice thought, Andrew. It would be. And actually, I keep trying to get clarification on this. It's because I have actually, if I wanted to take an extra 20 minutes of my life, I've got software where I could just drop in clips occasionally. But where I'm at, I barely have time to get myself together and turn the camera on. And then I do push what I can do. If you go look like What Culture, they have a live stream, and it's literally 10 guys doing this, just watching. I like What Culture, and 10 dudes is too much for me. 2 maximum talking about what I'm already watching with announcers is pushing it. So, as far as what I can show and what I can't, I'm still trying to figure it out. You can kind of see her. I have a big screen TV here. I have a 32-inch here, and then I have a 32-inch here. What I'm trying to figure out and get nailed down maybe for the future is either dropping in down right about here in the screen, just stills or replays, or if I can still it and show you at least pictures live as they happen. But I'm still trying to get some kind of confirmation with that. YouTube will tell you nothing until you do something wrong. Like the last pay-per-view, they thought I was showing video and pulled me off. And then I got a message from them, and then when I realized they reviewed it or whatever, they put me back up. That's how crazy it is right now with YouTube. For those of you wondering, probably not, what I do is I put the commentary through an earbud so I can at least have, some kind of thought on what's going on as it's going on live. But really and truly, doing this is a blessing because I don't hear near as much Michael Cole. And the only upside to the current way they're doing this, I was a big fan of keeping the brand split. and letting each one have their own pay-per-views. I know nobody else was, but I was for this reason. Way less Michael Cole, and you got to develop some of the underneath guys. Now, basically, you have a 3-hour Raw, and they only get half the matches on a pay-per-view. That's not helping really anybody. Almost there. And see, that's what I'm talking about as far as like me adding more stuff. It's already too hard for my feeble little mind. I would put the odds on Miz winning this belt at about 1,000,000 to 1. I hope they're not just going to waste our time, though, and have, what we already know occur. Maybe we'll get some character development. Maybe something will happen. Maybe Bo Dallas will make an appearance and do something unexpected. But there's just no way that they're going to let that belt go. Unless you guys know something I don't. All right, there's my commentary. Ugh. And boy, oh boy. I don't know about you guys. I wish they would put Corey Graves on one show and then maybe somebody else on another. I don't understand why Booker can't do the other show. Maybe Booker wouldn't appear to suck near as much if he had another show on his own without Corey Graves. Just a thought. Here comes Seth. He's going with the lime green again. Seth is one of my favorite wrestlers with the worst outfits ever. I wish somebody would, talk to him in the back and be like, look, bro, you're awesome and all, but we got to do something about these outfits. They suck. I've been told and I've heard that he picks them out himself. So I guess nothing we can do about that. Does anybody know? See, this is how little of attention I've been paying. I know that Seth and Finn had a great match on Monday night. What's Finn doing tonight? Anything? This isn't a three-way. This is these two, right? So if they don't have Finn booked for anything, maybe he'll come in and do something dastardly. One can only hope. Nice bow tie, buddy. Sub for sub never works. Whenever people do that, they're not really watching your videos. And so, if you're doing it to get your subs up, I guess, to make money later, There we go. You guys asked, I complied. Now then, how about some wrestling? Yep, it's a one-on-one. Sorry I didn't do my homework. I'm a bad person. Say what you will about The Miz, the dude can get some heat. He's maybe one of two bad guys, heels the WWE has at most on the roster. Kind of makes me sad, but I was listening to a podcast this week where they were talking about Miz being trained in the Deep South with some other guys. I remembered that happening, but I forgot that he was trained and brought in by Bill DeMott, the infamous dude that supposedly was abusive to people. And from the sounds of what Miz went through early on in his developmental, he did earn his spot in the WWE. I never really thought, you always think that these guys have to work their way up through the indies. I would say Miz probably had the hardest route of anybody that didn't go through the indies, based on the training he had to go through. Show the matches. Go find the matches, Gucci Gang. Go find the matches. Now we've got Miz going to work with a series of kicks. Why is it that he can get away with doing the kicks and punches and no one ever complains? But, Roman Reigns, for instance, does it. People lose their minds. Now, I'm the biggest Reigns hater in the world, but I'm just saying. Hi, Greg. Just got home from work. It's 1:08 a.m. here. Got my tablet. and Backlash on my TV. All right, so then you are probably just in the first match, or did you start all the way over? You know what will be upset? Cass beating Bryan. That is going to go a long way to determining where Daniel Bryan is at in this company's eye. It would be an upset by the way that it should work, but I'm almost expecting that match to go that way for some reason. I really hope they don't. They have a chance right now to have Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, and Nakamura all in like top contention with Samoa Joe. And if they take, one of those guys out of it, even if it's Daniel, and have him in a secondary feud for a while, it's really a mistake. But doesn't mean that WWE won't make it. They've made it before. Did you guys see that? That's the first time I've seen Seth do that in a while. That was clear as day. At least we didn't hear him. I got the earbuds in and I can't hear him. Cena, you can hear from 4 rooms away. The thing I've never understood about when they call the next move or set of moves like this, like these two guys, they only have time, and you can hear audio, they only have time to call maybe 2-3 moves ahead. Now, if you watch, they won't do any other, they won't call any other moves for 5 minutes. Makes me wonder if like this one setup move they had in advance and they had just like a code word for it. Thinking of ordering some food. Backlash going to be long, at least you are streaming. Backlash ain't going to be near as long as the last two. I feel like the Greatest Royal Rumble took like 3 years off my life. Uh-oh, he's loading up the boot. I like that kick. That was pretty simple and to the point. Alfie Mahoney. Alfie Mahoney. Here's what you do. You go back out and search. Right out there on the YouTubes. Let's see. Backlash 2018. I would like to watch it for the 2 minutes before WWE or YouTube pulls down the channel and shuts it down for copyright infringement. That would be your search for that. Or you can make up a fictitious email and get it for free for 1 month. I guess it wouldn't be a fictitious email. You just make up another email. Uh-oh. You done hurt the top of his chest. Yeah, I'm with you. What's up, Matt? Are you going to watch all the matches tonight, Matt, or are you just in for a visit? Or are you even watching any matches tonight, Matt? You just saw a live stream and hope I was eating food? I always appreciate the people that stop in to see what I'm doing, and then, even if they go away disappointed that I'm watching wrestling, God bless them. Water. No vodka yet. Still too early for me. Well, John, I think I'm up to 4 or 5 that I've noticed. No, just popped in to see if you... And I don't have the big wheel either, and I'm not asking for donations. Sadly, I am just here to watch some wrestling and not beg for money, Matt. Weird, right? I don't know. What's wrong with me? I'll tell you why it is, JCS. They had to promote this in advance. Thanks for stopping in, Matt. They had to promote this in advance, and they are trying to swerve people by making people think that The Miz wouldn't change brands by having this match occur. That was the whole reasoning. A few cases of beer? Jeez, man. How long do you think this pay-per-view is going to be? You start now, you can probably get a good 12 in. Hey, man, it does sound dumb. I'm not defending it. I'm just telling you that's the reasoning. If every single match they had on this, and they made the matches 3 to 4 weeks ago, before the shakeup, if every single match they had on here, then the people were all on the same brand, that would basically give away a lot of the shakeup results. So, whatever. Besides, every great once in a while, they will do something. Wade Boggs beer level. Yeah, hollow leg beer level. Good to see you, Jack. I have always hated that move. That is one of those right up there with throwing people into the ropes. The law of physics, there's no way you can lift a man up in the air and bring him down like that against his will. Gonna watch. If you watch Twin Peaks after Backlash, that is why a lot of beer. Yeah, beer? I don't know, man. Hallucinogenics, maybe. Let's see, how far into this match are we? They've gone already. Looks like 11 minutes. Seth needs to work on that face. His selling face is not getting it done for me. Oh, that's the first sling blade of the night, isn't it? Let's do a sling blade counter. There was one. This has now become like the DDT. The over-the-top rope, like the helo or the pancha, is now right there with it. Oh, here I am griping. He went between the ropes. Threw me a curve. Looking jacked, man. It also is a shame to me that Seth doesn't have better merchandise. Every time I go, I want to buy a Seth Rollins shirt, but then I look kind of like the Ambrose Asylum. It's just corny. Noah Thompson, can we see? Yes, Noah, you can. I assume you can, unless you're using Braille to type. Speaking of that, Noah, oh my God, I can't believe that 10 armed thugs just came in and hit the biz with baseball bats, Noah. It is incredible. I feel like we've seen this match over and over and over. That's going to be the new thing, Matt, if you would like to play along. Because, you know, it's in the description. And you got to wonder, are these people that new or are they just lazy? Because if you could live stream pay-per-view events, wouldn't everybody have been doing it for like 10 years now? Those were some horrible looking kicks. Fair to passable forearm. There we go. That, man, he had some nice air on that. You've got so many guys now that can do some just beautiful top rope maneuvers, you're almost taking it for granted. That was a weirdly long close-up of Seth's face. It was beginning to feel uncomfortable. They're still going. I'm going to have to look at the match card on this, and I'm also wondering if they're going to go over the prescribed 3-hour limit tonight. Got the sriracha sauce and black pepper ready for my chips. Now by chips, you mean french fries or hot potato wedges, correct, sir? Because, you know, you are in the UK. I'm trying to keep up. Miz, don't go to the top rope. That's not your forte, bro. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's not going to work out. Actually, even though, you know, he caught him, did the roll through, it was still better than... There you go. Does Seth have his own special name for the sidewalk slam that he just did, or what is he calling it? I'm trying to block out Michael Cole. I didn't hear what he said. Yes, I'm sitting and wondering, is he going to hit the move? What? The frog splash? It feels like somehow they had a bet backstage that he would work in 2 or 3 moves that, you know. From a standpoint of distance, that made better sense for him to try to clear it. Yeah, he's going to be back. Well, me and him are going to be making videos tomorrow, which means he'll probably appear on Tuesday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday this week, and then he's probably going to be off again until the following week. He graduates on the 19th, and then his schedule will be a lot more free. But until then, we're just doing what we can. Again, another weird Seth close-up. Yes, burn it down. I'm just sitting here in wonder. I apologize. I was wondering, it just keeps, and they just keep going with this match. It feels like they're waiting for something. The crowd seems to be okay with it. All right, how many times, 2 or 3, we've seen that same move? Is he going to go between the ropes, or is he going to do the punch I was calling for earlier? Nope. Foreshadowing earlier. You know, it feels like I used to know this, what the next pay-per-view is, but the WWE changed it up somewhat. Seems like, you know, they had more pay-per-views earlier in the year, and then they took some down. I'll pull up the schedule here real quick, and we'll go through them. Okay, here's what I think's going to happen. The Miz's cronies are going to come down. Cronies, 10 points for that word. Balor's going to come down to help. And then that's where the wires are going to get crossed. But somehow Seth will either lose by disqualification, keeping the belt, or Seth will outright win. It's nice to see that they go back and use some history. You guys remember when there was just about a half a second of time that Ric Flair gave the figure 4 to The Miz? And he's even closer. I don't know. Charlotte may want to come and have a talk with him. Reach for the ropes. I got to make a quick adjustment. I'm not going anywhere. I'm still here with you. Camera adjustment. My tripod is leaning, which is amazing because it doesn't seem to be showing up on the video. Here comes the bounce. And boom. Goes the dynamite. Oh, Seth must have been talking to Sting before the match to learn the reversal. Even Ric Flair admits this is the worst reversal in all of sports and entertainment. You've reversed the figure 4 by rolling over. We're now like 18 minutes into the match. Yeah, I saw Infinity War. I don't know why I'm straining over here to see it. Yeah, I saw Infinity War. I liked it. Kind of like everybody else, you know, no spoilers. I know that 90% of that isn't going to stick, and it's going to get turned over in the next movie. I think that everything that happened before the finger snap, with one exception, will count. Let's see, the next... Okay, technically it's going to be NXT TakeOver Chicago, and then you have Money in the Bank. That's right. Doctor Strange does have a plan. At least that stuck with you. Because that was, as soon as that happened, that was the thing that stood out at me. Man, I've been hearing Lashley's going to turn, but he's been here less than a month. That's not even character development. I wish they would give him a little bit of time. That was a nice forearm. That was a solid enziguri. Those usually look horrible. Whoa, Miz hit his move. I hate when people kick out of the finisher like in the first match of the night. I just hate it. Don't. Boom, I told you guys that was solid. That was the replay. That face.
Here for the friends.
Whoa, what the hell?
Got to know the friends of our friends. And we found others just like us.
Really?
And just like that, felt a little less.
Commercial. On the WWE Network in the bottom corner. That, my friends, is why you have a pop-up blocker. Bye now. This match has gone on way, way, way longer than I thought it would. I put this match at like 12 minutes. I'm going to check the schedule and see if they're going to go over. There's really no reason for this pay-per-view to be a 4-hour pay-per-view. Don't go to the top rope. Stay on the ground, baby Flair. I wonder if he's using the figure 4 as a signal to us that he's basically wrestling a modern-day Ric Flair match. Look at that bruise on the Miz's leg. Keeps going to the top rope with no success. Oh, there was some communication. And a Carlito shirt. You know what, Matt? The thing about Finn, I follow him across like social media. He's been doing this thing lately where he's like looking down and smiling. I love this chain of moves when he hits them. He's been looking second one. Come on. Wow. And you're killing the move dead for him. Like, that's 2. There's a billion things Seth could kick out of that doesn't hurt his finish. Anyway, they've been doing this thing with the smiling Balor that is just creepy as hell. I don't know what they're going for. I'm interested, and I've noticed there has been no demon for quite a while. Carlito still looks good, too. He's one of those guys that I guess burned the bridge so well that they're never going to bring him back. But if you see him, you can still see him on cards, and he's still fairly young. I hate smiling Balor. That's the point. It's just creepy. And he has done the Joker bit in the past. That's one thing I missed. You know, when he came to WWE, he was relegated. Oh my God! Did you guys see the dude in the front row with the sideways hat? There he is in the bang, whatever he's got going here. That was a fashion choice. And even, hold on, even at a Backlash pay-per-view, that ticket was probably $750 because you buy the experience with it. $750 to $1,000. This hat guy paid for his ticket to sit on the front row and look like that. Whew. Watch later. About 3 matches in, I'm curious. We'll know if Vince McMahon is at the monitors watching this. It's widely known that McMahon will go pull people out of the front rows if he's not happy with what they're doing. Hey, man. It's good to see you, Matthew. Oh, look who came off their suspension. And there we go. I even let you come back, and then you're still right back to it. Finally, I just don't understand the end of this match at all. I don't understand the match at all. It went way longer than it should have. And it's exactly what I told you guys. I mean, it was a great match. But the way they've been building Seth lately, Seth way, 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 way oversold for The Miz. In my opinion. We got no Balor. Or are we going to get Balor now? It was a good match. Both guys are fully capable. And I know the old thing about have like a hot match early and then have like the fill-in matches for a while. But still. You guys, us guys, me guys, we all expected at the end with The Miz losing. From my mind, all this did was diminish The Miz's, moveset a little bit because Seth kicked out of everything. That was pretty cool, though, with the miss of the curb stomp. I'm glad they brought it back. That's something that's missing a lot now, too, that you can have a devastating move that can be done on anybody regardless of their size. I don't know. There was maybe 2, maybe 3 times in this match where I felt that they hung unnecessarily long on close-ups of Seth. And that one where they were on his face for no reason for like 12 seconds. Nice, Miz. And now we're just getting more Seth in the ring, and it's not going anywhere. Yes. We've all almost forgotten the one time you accidentally sent out a picture of your penis. Keep up the good work, and soon everyone will forget, Seth. Smiling Demon Balor would be pretty cool. You know what was funny about Titus going under the ring at the Royal Rumble? Some of you watched it with me. Was I didn't even really think it was that funny until about the 4th time they showed it. It was like the old rule of comedy. The more you show it, the funnier it is. And I think maybe by like the 6th time they shown it, I started laughing. It took me that long. Heel Ambrose would be great. If they would go back to the Ambrose that showed up when the Shield started, they've just watered him down into like a corny, I'm a crazy guy character where he does like 6 moves. When Ambrose first started with the Shield, when they were first doing promos, he was doing like this Heath Ledger, Joker thing. And to me, it was much more unsettling than wacky Ambrose, which we're getting all the time now. I know I'm a horrible person for saying this, but I don't enjoy Nia Jax. Not for any reason that's like body shaming. She can't sell for little people, and she doesn't dominate right when she's dominating, and then if she dominates too much, it makes no sense when somebody smaller than her whips her ass, and it, from any kind of a logical standpoint, she just doesn't work for me. I never have liked her, and I never liked her when they were making her a monster in NXT. It never worked for me. And see, though, you know, when you say things like that, Matt, people want to make it about looks. And yeah, I mean, I like Bliss. She looks great, but from a work standpoint, I enjoy her matches more. This match is not what it would be or could be if the people were anywhere near the same size. You have to do some kind of gimmick for anyone to have any kind of a chance against Bliss, except for Asuka, maybe Ronda, and Charlotte. Otherwise, the other, pretty much everybody else, you can't take it seriously. But I hear she's a very nice lady. I agree with you, but they have so diminished Bayley and Sasha at this point that they need to be built back up. I think we talked about this on the Greatest Royal Rumble. God knows we had time to like spitball things. They should take one of those hours for like main event or one of the 57 shows that you can find out there that WWE actually is making new content for that no one watches, and make it a women's show. You could take the women from both brands, don't have them wrestle each other, but they could have matches on that show and develop like plot points, and then build from there to pay-per-views for the women. They don't get enough time on the regular shows, and when they do get time, you get like 4 people. They have a roster now that there's people you forget that are, you know, on the current roster. They could do a lot to improve the Riot Squad with a show like that. Yes, they're going to do the Stop the Bullying campaign. Well, you know, here's where I stand on that. It's not hypocritical because wrestling is wrestling, and I'm old, man. I remember when people used to come out to get heat, they would fly the flag of a different country, and people would boo them simply because they had a different flag. I understand that you have to do things in a storyline that is different than what you tell people as a company. But having said all of that, this storyline is stupid. NXT is just, it's starting to get hot again. And I'm hoping that they keep the current people there for the next year where it'll get super hot. But what NXT suffers from is every time they get really, really good, then of course everybody leaves. When they had Balor and Joe and Nakamura, that was a good group. And then when they all left, they had like a substandard group. I think Bobby Roode was probably the best of that bunch. I like Bobby Roode, but Alexa ain't got time. She's not pleased. There we go. So, what's the over-under on this match, guys? Is it going to be a 3-minute squash? Or is it going to be Alexa somehow wins? What's she going to do? Drop a bank vault on her? Have an army come out? That's kind of where I'm at with this. There's no way these two have a match. It just doesn't happen. I don't see any figures I want. Ooh, there was a Balor in the back. That looked pretty cool. What kind of entrance are we going to get? And at least they let the champion come out second. I wish they would do that more often. That's the other thing. I know it just sounds like I'm just bashing on Jax, but she has no facial expression. She's got like this one and this one. There's not like a lot of personality coming out. I think my cat may be making an appearance soon. Those of you that are in the know, come on in. Just making a video, just talking to people. Come on in. Yeah, I'm talking to my cat. Still, no emotion. Remember now, she's supposed to be selling the fact that she's very angry. Nia just looks like, she had ants at the picnic or something. Bliss, when she came out, naturally pissed off. See? Facial reactions. Now, we're going to go to Jax, who is just going to constantly look like, there you go, that. That's why I do not enjoy Nia Jax in a nutshell. That, and I can't decide if her name's Nia or Nia, so I switch back and forth. And I know you'll say, well, her name is this. Well, listen to the announcers. They can't really seem to focus for more than one match at a time on what her name is either. All right, here we go. Almost 40 minutes into the pay-per-view, getting the second match. And to the knee. Only so many ways we can go. When are we going to get the big fallback spot? Or are we going to get to the corner spot? That's the I'm going to get you suck it move. Uh-oh, showing some emotion there. Look out. Nice. And the squash. Get out of the ring and get some help. And see, they've diminished Mickie James to the point now that if Mickie James somehow helps Alexa win this match, it's already been like established that Mickey's not very good now. So that diminishes Nia, Nito. Yeah, I took my commentary out. I didn't really need to hear the commentary for this one. I guess I'll come back to it. See, that was a nice looking forearm, but what's the point? Painful to watch, friends. What is that? Now she's bouncing her head. If you guys have a way to book Miss Jax, feel free to let me know. I got nothing. Her face is the same to me. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. And you know, from one standpoint, I'm being really unfair. Yeah, Mickey's still with Bliss. I missed it because I had my earbud out, but they were on pre-show together for a minute. The thing about Nia is she is only like, what, in her second year? She really has no business being on TV, and I don't mean that from the standpoint of she can't perform. I mean that from a standpoint of she hasn't had time to be like properly trained. Not everybody picks it up as quick as Alexa. Those of you that watch NXT may remember, she never really had any kind of a career on there. She was like, at best, enhancement talent. She was a manager for Murphy and Blake. And then she came on as like maybe the last draft pick for SmackDown and just blew up. Whereas Nia came in with a bunch of fanfare, but no training. She kind of sucks. Hat guy's still in the front row. So apparently McMahon's not at the event. No. I'm trying really hard not to say things about where the camera angles would be for more interest for me, because that's a horrible thing to say. This match should be finished by now. Well, and it should be. They're doing it because, like, people like me said, well, they can't go plus 5 minutes without this, that, or the other thing. WWE knows this stuff. They're like, well, we'll show you. Here we go. You've got all that hair, Nia. There's no reason for us to see you talking. Boy, the official must have got his mic turned up. And see, maybe this is more of a knock on Bliss than Nia. Maybe I'm looking at this wrong, that they're pushing Bliss so hard against a giant, but it's just ridiculous. With the exception of like maybe Rousey, because she's like a legit fighter. This is, oh my God, almost believable if she's doing this to anybody else. If Bliss is doing this to anybody else. Same look. She looks like she just walked down to the ring. And you know, this is WWE's fault. If we're watching this and seeing her facial expressions never change, what are they doing? Have you guys seen the WrestleMania Theater on the WWE Network yet? They basically take old WrestleMania matches and shoot them like they're movies with the camera angles. They minimize the announcers. They turn up the ambient mics where you can actually hear the crowds chanting. You can hear the referee's instructions. You can hear the wrestlers. You can hear the wrestlers talking when they want you to, like when they're talking to the crowd. I watched the Shane McMahon AJ Styles match the other day, and it was such a huge improvement over what they had aired on WrestleMania. If you guys get the chance and you have the network, check that out. Please end this match. Please end this match. Nice bump. That was a nice bump. Got on my planner. There you go. See, as much as I'm sitting here talking crap about Nia Jax, I don't want to take that bump. I'd still be laying there. I'd probably be dead. I know you guys see people doing way more and way worse, but just think. She hasn't had that much training. For her size, that was a hell of a bump. But again, having Bliss do this to her just minimizes Nia to me altogether. It damages her. And again, I'm rooting for Alexa. Hey, look, it's the same look she had on her face when she came to the ring. She's not going to be able to get her up. That's going to be the match. She's just going to lay there. I hope that's the end. That would be different. I was one of the few people looking forward to Coach coming back. I'm now looking forward to him leaving again. Where are we at on the count? Oh, back to 1. You got to go in and out to break it. Oh my God. For those of you without the benefit of video, we are now, I don't know, way too long into Alexa Bliss. 1, 2, and Nia Jax. Well, I'm over Byron Saxton. I thought maybe if they brought Coach back, he would be different. I thought he would be like the Coach of old, but no, they have homogenized him into just some kind of boring sports analyst, and he's horrible. Here we go. She's going to squash her like a bug. I don't know, Chunks. I miss that myself. Anybody know why Mickey isn't with Alexa at the moment? Oh, come on. Really? Jax should have farted on her right there. Alexa doesn't need Mickey. She has her new tag team partner apparently going tonight, Gravity. Gravity has been kicking Nia Jax's ass all night. She keeps falling off of things. Corey's all right, but man, they have spread him so thin, he needed to be on one show and one show only. There was a point there where he was doing like Raw, SmackDown, an occasional NXT, and 205 if you were unfortunate enough to stick around and watch it. He really only needs to be on one show. Oh no, she didn't. She's still like in the building and around. She was like here earlier tonight. Something happened and we missed it. And you know, Chunks, I'm in the minority because I'm probably the only person here that knows they exist. But if she was to leave, if Mickey was to leave the NWA Women's title sitting there waiting for her, then she could tour with her husband, Nick Aldis. Same look. Nia Jax is literally that Darth Vader poster of the different moods. Hogan? Hogan? That's fine if she is. Let's just hope that the cameras are off. Oh, she didn't quite flat back that. It's going to wake up sore tomorrow. Yeah, man. So basically, they had us believe that Nia Jax was going to take a 10-minute ass whipping, and then all she needed to do is hit one move. So again, this made Nia actually look worse. Like, Bliss almost had her several times, and then it amounts to Jax only won because she's big. Okay, we've enjoyed about enough of the Raw brand. I'm really more of a SmackDown person. Let's see some of their matches. And then as sure as I say that, we're going to get the... Really? It does? God, I hate you. Listen to the crowd. Hear the crowd booing? It only took about a month. The crowd is now turning on her. At a certain boos, people are booing. At a certain point, people only want to hear like you're a victim so long, and then they get sick of it. You had about a 1 month window of people wanting to hear. You are supposed to be like the good guy here, and yet the promo you're cutting is like whiny and snotty. And the crowd is responding. Please end this. Especially when you are 25 times bigger. We get another 2 pay-per-views in, she's going to be the most hated heel in the company. Now Michael Cole's going to spend some time blowing the WWE. And we get the same look that we started with. It can only get better, guys. Cut to the Bludgeon Brothers. Boo. Anybody watching something to wrestle with on here? I watch it, but it's not near as good as the podcast. Which I understand. They're assuming that the people watching this don't listen to the podcast, so they're just repeating like greatest hits, but still. All right. That's a pretty decent crowd, 14,000 for a secondary pay-per-view. Oh, and then he had to tell me, co-branded. I'm sure that's why. Oh, God. Here's the thing, man. Here's the problem with this. Nobody cares. They're not going to make me believe that he meant to do that to win the match. So what they're basically saying, and what they're trying to build Roman up on, is based on it was an accident. He should have won by accident. That's not helping him. Put the belt on Seth and let's move on. If anything happens besides Samoa Joe winning this match, WWE has just blown it on all fronts. Besides, Joe owes Roman Reigns a hell of a receipt. Nice.
Will see my face and he will lament all his failures.
There you go.
The big
There's
dog.
just some audio.
Tonight, I turn the big dog into a whimpering puppy.
I really hope he does. We get the Joe promo and then what? Typical WWE. Back in my ear. Why, when it's widely known that Randy Orton doesn't want to be there, he's world famous for having the RKO out of nowhere, and he has always been better because he has like the charisma of a rock. If you had Randy Orton, why would you not have him do a sting where he just disappears and then starts coming out of the crowd and taking people out and disappearing back into the crowd for like 6 months? His entrance is him walking slowly to the ring, so he's not the Undertaker. He's not reliant on an entrance. His matches are you waiting the whole match for him to hit the RKO. So if you just have him coming out and hitting people with no explanation, laying them out, and then exiting back through the crowd for a few months, people would be interested. People would want to know why he was doing it. People would want to know if there was like a rhyme or reason to it. And people would be going to events to see if he was going to appear at this one to drop people. And you keep him healthy because everybody knows he's injury prone as hell. All he's got to do with this is hit some RKOs. But no. They're going to put Randy Orton in the mid-card and try to think that people are going to care. How does that work? I know. Typical fan BS. Think we know everything. Jeff's looking good. Homeboy don't age. He's 40. Did you guys hear the interview? They had an interview with Edge and Christian. Yes, Matt and Jeff did on their podcast, where Jeff said that now when he hits the big moves, Whisper in the Wind, Swanton, where he used to protect the other person, he now hits them. It's a legit move now. When he hits it, it's the full weight going on. And I never noticed and didn't ever pay attention, never understood, but I went back and watched some old video, and I do now understand. When he used to hit the Swanton, he would hit in such a way that his legs and then the back of his head would take the impact, and the person in between, he would build a bridge. When he hits the Swanton now, there's none of that. He full-on compresses the person, which is kind of cool. He's actually hitting the move. I kind of like seeing Shelton get a little bit of attention. When you guys think about the fact that it was Randy Orton, Batista, John Cena, that one guy that's the champ, Brock Lesnar, all in the same OVW training class with poor Shelton Benjamin, my man didn't have a chance. I heard some people asking why Randy Orton would have jobbed even under dubious circumstances to Shelton. That's probably why. They go back a long ways. But I always kind of felt like Benjamin got like the short end of the stick as far as all those guys go. Please tell me we're not going to get some kind of Jinder Mahal sighting. It would make no sense and there's no reason for it. if we're going to have somebody interfere in this match, and we're third match in, there's been no interference whatsoever, maybe we'll get a Shelton appearance. Hey, Heather, what's up? I am not eating food. I apologize, Heather. I am watching the wrestling. See? Already hurt his shoulder. What'd I tell you guys? And then Jeff Hardy had sympathy pains. At least for the pay-per-views, they should have somebody take Corey's place. It really sticks out that he just stays in the same spot. Hat guy is still on the front row. He has not moved. Of the two announced teams, which do you guys prefer? SmackDown or Raw right now? Personally, it's very easy for me. I would rather listen to the SmackDown guys. Oh God, Jeff Hardy, please accidentally smack that hat off homeboy's head. Please do it. Nope. Michael Cole for me kills everything. And people say, well, Michael Cole gets a bad rap, it's unfair. I just can't do it. But I'm the same guy that does not enjoy Mauro Ranallo past like the 30-minute mark. After a while, he gets old too. The guy that got the Ross deal as far as announcers go is simply, I guess, maybe in real life, he's a bit of a jerk or a bit full of himself. Right now, I like Matt Stryker. Him and Josh calling the Impact versus Lucha Underground was one of the better announced jobs I'd heard probably in a couple years. When you consider that they had done no prep, they basically showed up and just called the match. They had no monitors. They called it live, like seeing it in person with nobody feeding in their ears. That was a hell of an announced job. Yeah, I think he's underrated. I think Matt Stryker, just for whatever reason, when he was in the WWE before, a lot of people, for whatever reason, he rubbed them the wrong way. Because he would make references to wrestling that if you were just somebody that watched WWE, you wouldn't understand. And I guess that's frowned upon. But then after he caught such shit for it, and he got ran out of there, then guess what? JBL started doing it. If you can show me or tell me that 90% of the WWE audience gets his Steve and Sean Simpson references, I won't believe it. Where you going, Randy? No, John. Look at this dude. What is this? You see my man's hair over there with the multicolored fro hawk? Maybe they had a contest for goofiest jerk on the front row. No time for high fives, dummy. This should have been the first match of the night. I mean, we just watched The Miz and Seth literally drop the sky on each other. And this is a nice spot right here. That's solid. But this is not as impressive after you've already seen those two just go at it in a 25-minute war. I'm going to be the one to say it. I think that this Backlash 2018 should at least win a nomination for weirdest front row visible in a pay-per-view. Maybe they had some kind of giveaway for special people. But unlike Saudi Arabia, at least these people are looking at the ring. Do you guys really think that hashtag WWE Backlash is the #1 trending thing in the world? Or do you think that somehow WWE pays for that right? Stomping away. That was a thud. Well, my favorite with this #1 trending is when you see, like, I know nobody sees it, but if you ever do watch Impact, you know they're taped like months ago when the announcer tells you trending worldwide and it's whatever they have on the screen. There's no way they know what's trending because, you know, they're not Nostradamus. They used to do live announcing the old video, but they don't even do that anymore. No. Randy isn't even thinking about that. He's thinking about going home. I'm more inclined to believe, like, a match is trending. Trending's one thing, but, like, when they say it's the #1 thing in the world, maybe for a second, but I do have a hard time believing sometimes that the WWE is consistently What? There you go. Okay. What I meant, Matt, by trending is, yeah, I'm sure it does show up on Twitter, but what I wonder oftentimes is where those tweets are coming from. If they have, like, maybe some way that they're paying people to put out some tweets to help push things in a certain direction. Well, they only do have to hit it once all night for them to be able to claim it. This is why I was saying Randy Orton works better in small doses. The idea of Randy Orton to people is great because they just remember the RKO, but then you have to sit through Randy's match, or you have to sit through Randy's promo, and then you're sorry that you did. Whereas if he would just come out and give people the RKO, and I mean, I know it sounds like corny or whatever, but WCW proved it with Sting. He didn't speak for a year. He didn't even use a move. He hit people with a bat. People ate it up. I would much rather see that than this. The Hardiac arrest. The Hardiac arrest. Perhaps the worst name I've heard in years for a move. More of that classic Randy Orton selling. It's not a confident smirk about feeding time. He's smirking because he knows how much money he's making right now. Corey sounded very angry about that in that call. The one guy, I'm telling you guys, the earbuds is the way to experience this. The one guy out there, you hear the one lone voice say, boring. Put that tongue back, sir. It's a family program. Wow! Let's see if he hits it. Well, I was telling you guys earlier that he doesn't protect the guy. Will he protect Orton? Did you see how that was full impact? That's actually, when's the last time that you guys saw Orton pinned clean with no shenanigans? That should be a finisher for somebody. Yeah, AJ versus Shinsuke should headline. One of the things I have a problem with as far as Roman Reigns goes is it's on pay-per-views like this that they will decide to headline him for some reason. He's not the world champion. There's no reason for it. So yeah, AJ should be the one to headline tonight. Rockstar Punched is my favorite flavor. Of your normal energy drinks, it's one of the higher caffeine counts. It's 240. Your standard's 150. Now, there's always going to be the one guy that's going to be like, well, you know, Bang energy drink has 500. I'm not trying to blow my heart up, sir. Just, 240 is plenty. Plus, it's one of those, a lot of energy drinks, if they get a little bit warm, they're pretty horrible. This one holds up. It's all right, Nathan. It's all right. But if you make the mistake of letting it get a little bit room temperature, it's horrible. If you notice, then I make this face. I've been at this now for an hour 15 minutes. That drink was pretty well warm. It's not like a normal energy drink where you can't hardly swallow it. It holds up. More Bellas. Call me jaded, but I think the whole John Cena thing is just some kind of work. Amp does nothing for me. Amp, I might as well drink like 10 of them. Oh, here comes Elias. The most unlikely guy to get over in Raw in the last 20 years. Never buy an energy drink from a dollar store. It's a trap. Another reason that these are good, where I'm at, pretty much, they sell the punched for some reason, always $1.50 or two for $3. And for me, that is pretty much the right price. You go try to drink a Red Bull or something around here, it's like $1 more. And I'm not even that fond of Red Bull. Let's hear what the crowd has to say. It was not the Raw after Mania, because you expect the crowd to like him. I believe it was last week. The response he got when he said, "Who wants to walk with Elias?" was one of the louder responses maybe I've ever heard. And you could see it on his face. It registered. Yeah, it was when they were in Canada. The look on his face, it shocked even him. Yeah, man, that lemon lime ice Mountain Dew, you can find the review on the channel. I poured out a 2-liter of that. It was horrible. And you guys know, well, some of you do, I love the Mountain Dew. Could not do the ice. $2.15. Bank holiday, I love it. Is Elias wrestling tonight, or is he just making an appearance? Now they're booing him again. Best way ever to get applause is to ask people to hold their applause. I love that. Don't cheer for me. Then they're going to cheer louder. I don't know. Everything about this just works. And it shouldn't. There's no reason that this lame-ass gimmick should ever work. I wonder if they were... I wonder if when they were creating this, if they had any idea that basically he's going to get over by having the crowd cheer him when he doesn't want and boo him when he doesn't want. There's no way they could have predicted this. This was just a happy accident. Now he's doing spots with the stool. For those of you that can't see, he's doing the yay boo that he's going to sit down and sing, or he's going to walk away like they do with the two dudes punching each other. Why is a New Day here screwing with a Raw guy? Does anybody remember when the Royal Rumble was the only time of year these guys were going to interact? So they've basically just changed the rules. They said it's a dual branded pay-per-view, and all that stuff we told you last year is now changed. Gotta love Elias. He just asked the New Day if they wanted autographs. So now the New Day wants to jam out with Elias. So does this mean Elias is a good guy or a bad guy? Where are we at with this? Main roster equals a boring family dinner. You're not far from it, Nathan. Okay. I'm now completely confused. Megan will one day, but she appears when she wants to, man. Literally, they don't want to play with him. Megan is good for about one video every 6 months. We've added symbols to the New Day rocks. He just told the New Day they could one day open for Elias. Maybe me. JoJo? What's JoJo got to do with this? Oh. Here comes Rusev Day. I'll give you Aiden English's Rusev Day entrance audio because the audio seems to be okay.
Now, New Day, your skills don't pay the bills. Stick to your flapjacks, your short stacks, and that merchandise you shill. And Elias, the guitar you can play, but do you know what day that it is today? It's Rusev Day.
Who's wrestling here? What are the teams? What are they doing? It's entertaining, but tell me something. Wow. Now we have Rusev, but we still don't know what's going on. They should add Lana, but you know, if Lana broke them up, it would be WWE would not have learned from Daniel Bryan. People know what's going on. So, New Day left. They just left. And now we have Rusev. And the crowd is very loudly chanting Rusev Day. He just called homeboy bootleg Bob Dylan. Or the Booty Boys. Oh, okay. Look at these two guys now. There's the New Day. And you got chick with the tattoos. I'm telling you, they have an audience of people there for sure tonight. People aren't saying that. They're trying... Like, Aiden English is what got this over. If you don't get the announcement of Rusev Day, there is no Rusev Day. It's the WWE trying to kill Rusev. That's all that is, no matter what they tell you. Now we have No Way Jose. And trust me, if they bring back Lana, they've then killed Lana because people are mad and people love Lana. And they are then going to cheer Rusev more than ever because they realize that the WWE is trying to screw with people cheering for him. Oh my God. So No Way Jose has Fandango. Well, I guess Breezango. Titus. Worldwide. Is that Bo Dallas at the end of that conga line in the... Jose, No Way Jose will have to catch fire to burn out, but I feel you on that. Was Cesaro in there wearing like a Hawaiian shirt? I don't even... Poor JoJo. They have enough people now out there for a Royal Rumble. Let's do that. Or let's just have a big battle royal. Bobby Roode. DDT'd. Elias left laying. Nice purple robe. Bought it at Robes R Us. It was glorious. All of that was so we could get a DDT in. What now, Bobby? Now we have No Way Jose going to lead everyone back out. Sadly, this was more entertaining to me than 2 out of the 3 matches on the card. Almost makes you feel like Breezango just wanted to be out, so they just went. Didn't think anybody would notice. No. Don't do that, Bobby. I noticed Rusev Day's still staying put. Are they going to do something else with them? You guys know that Braun Strowman got his start this way? He was in, what's his name's line of, whatever? Lollipop Man? Him and James Ellsworth both. Still better than the greatest Royal Rumble ever so far. I'm more entertained by this. The Rosebuds. Yes, thank you. Braun Strowman was once a Rosebud. And so was James Ellsworth. So we're halfway home, guys. Big Cass. While he's gone, his former partner fired. They put him back on the brand with the girlfriend that just dumped him. Big Cass. I want Dean Ambrose to come back too, but I want it to mean something when he does. I don't know what that something would be. But having him make a statement, you know, like having him come out in the middle of this Samoa Joe match tonight and leave Roman laying and then don't explain it. Give Roman a month or 2 off so people can, you know, get over it. And then don't have Ambrose explain himself. Because, you know, of course, if he did take out Roman, that would probably make him more of a babyface than ever. Which I'm saying bring him back as a heel. There you go, Big Cass. I gotta admit, I'm a little curious. Like I said earlier, I don't know which way this match is going to go, but we'll be able to tell a lot from how they treat Daniel Bryan in this match about what they're going to do with him going forward. This pay-per-view has been pretty but I stick to my guns that it's still better than the greatest Royal Rumble. That was dreadful. This is simply bad. The thing that they did the other night on SmackDown that he couldn't wrestle because of his chest was all BS. After SmackDown went off the air, and you can go and find good footage of it out there, him and Shinsuke had a dark match, and normally a dark match goes like 2 minutes. They went probably 10 or 12 minutes and did way more than anybody in a WWE dark match has done in years. And he looked really good. I don't know. As you guys can tell, I'm still a little bit bitter about the greatest Royal Rumble ever. If 25 of the 50 entrants wouldn't have been like fake sumo guys and jobbers and whatnot, I would have, wouldn't have been so crucial on or critical of it. What they should do next year, if they're going to do this again, the greatest Royal Rumble, they should change it, make it a little different, because, you only really have one Royal Rumble and you're watering it down because that's the doorway to WrestleMania. If they're going to have 50 guys, they should have a buzzer go off every 3 minutes and 5 guys come down at a time. Just different enough not to be the same Royal Rumble, but you still kind of have the same concept. You get the countdown and you get new people. All right, here we go. Earbuds back in. And then they introduced Daniel Bryan first. I just don't get it. Nice crowd reaction. And of course, cheesy Mohawk guy has a sign, but it's not a Daniel Bryan sign. Is he leaving the shirt on or not, guys? What do you think? No matter what they do, they can't get the crowd to do that for Roman. This pay-per-view is... yeah, I can see where it would make you sleepy, Matt. But from here, what do we got? It's only uphill from here instead of downhill. I'm interested in this match. I'm interested in the Joe match. I'm interested in the AJ match. It's like they had half a pay-per-view. And the rest, up until now, was just kind of filler. Or some sort of BS DQ. I love the fact that he said Cass just came back. You can't see him losing. Daniel Bryan came back like on the same day. After 3 years, I can't see him losing. I don't know. I don't know what you do with Big Cass, though. I'm full of ideas. I got none for him. He doesn't really belong over on Raw because you can't take him serious as a big man on a brand that has Strowman. And then when you walk like that, you really can't take him seriously. I'm interested in the other matches, Matt. I want to see the AJ match. I guess there's a difference. I want to see the AJ match. I'm interested to see the results of these others. Big Cass been spending time in the world's longest tanning bed. He does need... and see, that's why... it felt like Big Cass was going to be aligned with The Miz, because The Miz left the Miztourage behind. And It just felt like they were going to line them like a poor man's Shawn Michaels and Diesel from back in the day. But no, not as yet. If speaking of his former partner, if I heard correctly, for the third time, because I keep hearing it, I forgot about Carmella and Charlotte. I'll tell you where that'll fall in a minute. After this is over, I'm going to have to go look. But I heard that, again, for the third time, everything against Enzo was dropped earlier today. Did you guys hear this? Now, it'd been said previous times before and turned out not to be true, but I heard it again today and didn't have time to follow up before this pay-per-view. Love him or hate him, if Enzo gets cleared, somebody needs to pick him up. I knew it was all lies from jump. And I actually got in a Twitter war with some stupid wrestling journalist, Sap. He has his own channel or whatnot. He was burying Enzo on all counts on this. If you did any research, it was obvious that this chick was a loon, allegedly. But that wasn't why he got fired. He got fired because he didn't tell him. Bad judgment. I think it was an excuse. I think that they wanted an excuse to fire Enzo, and they got an excuse. That's all that was. But if you take him, make him a manager, don't have him wrestle, he can take an occasional bump, put him in Ring of Honor or Impact, people will still watch him. There will be like a curiosity factor. That's exactly right. Put him on with somebody that you want to get booed. Ooh, God. I always thought that Enzo was going to kind of get slid into more of a manager role anyway. Dropped him like a wet sack of cement. What does that mean, though? Where are you going? Who are you looking at up there? Man, you guys keep naming matches. I'm beginning to get concerned that this thing's going to go another 2.5 hours. Somebody needs to tell WWE 3 hours is a nice time for a regular pay-per-view. I'm going to have to go look at the card now because I forgot about Carmella and Charlotte. Why does he loathe him so? I'm going to look and see how many matches we're missing on this. Because, yeah, I'm now concerned. Give him the Shinsuke. Okay, we still have the AJ Styles match to go. We still have the Roman Reigns match to go. We still have the Charlotte match to go. That's 3. We're in the middle of this one. Bobby Lashley and Braun Strowman match. That's 4. Okay, so we still have 4 matches after this one. I don't understand then why they needed to kill 20 minutes in the middle of the show with bringing out like a bunch of comedy acts. Anyway, I told you guys, I think they're going to put Charlotte and Carmella between Joe and Roman and AJ and Shinsuke. They're going to put it right in between. Why? the most popular guy you guys have had in this company in easily 5 years. Let's say that, realistically. Daniel Bryan is the most over guy they've had in the last 5 years. Listen to this crowd for him kicking a guy. He's been gone. He's one of the greatest stories of, like, the last 5 years. You bring him back, and he's got the 5th match down in the card, fighting a guy named Big Cass. You have Bobby Lashley, who the crowd just doesn't care about. You have Roman Reigns that they can't get people to be interested in no matter what. I don't know. I don't understand their logic. Why don't you have him against a better opponent further up the card? Even though Randy Orton is like a charisma vacuum, if they would have brought him and Daniel Bryan in against each other and put it second match from the top tonight, that would have had a bigger match feel than what we're getting here. It would have felt like they were doing something with Daniel Bryan as opposed to going back to what he left. But again, I digress. What do I know? The reason I think Carmella, Charlotte, it kind of depends on how they do it. And that's also a sign of respect that they're giving to the women, of how much they respect them. If you ever noticed back in the day, they would always put a women's match just before the main event. Basically, they wanted something that didn't have a lot of moves, that was slow, so that people would appreciate the main event more. Also, as disrespectful as this is, they wanted to put a match on so that people could go to the bathroom before the main event if they needed to. They called it a popcorn match. Tap that big bastard. This one or this one? He just tapped him. Okay, that's an indication there that they still are interested in the Daniel Bryan career. And I know a lot of people are going to go, well, they just killed Big Cass. Actually, they didn't. He started at kind of zero, ran his mouth. He can get his heat right back by attacking Daniel Bryan from behind right now, or coming out on Tuesday and acting like nothing happened and that he won. I don't really think this damages Cass that much. Oh, man, I ain't trying to mess with you, dude, but is it my right or your right? This chick, give me the yes or no. Come on, Daniel, you do better than that. Hi, from Ohio. Good to see you, Allie Taylor. Thank you for dropping in. That is Kristen Bell. No, I'm not some... there's this heat back. I'm not some kind of Disney fanatic. I don't enjoy her Disney work. I was a big Veronica Mars fan. I think she has a show on now, The Good Place or something, but I don't care about any of that. I have the autograph for Veronica Mars. This is kind of what had to happen. Daniel got in the tap, which is huge. And then, you build on the fact that Cass is a punk. You get more boos. The "you tapped out" chant, which is more heat. Of course, Roman and Joe are main eventing. I will tell you guys now, if you don't want to hear a man just sit here and just tell you why Roman Reigns is poison, you guys might as well just mute me or go on, because I cannot stand... It's not got anything to do with Roman Reigns. It's the way they book him. I understand it's two different people or two different things, but I can't support it. The WWE has damaged him beyond belief. And how you're going to have AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura not headline a show where there is no other belt comparable to them on it? Get out of here. This was totally predictable. As far as once Daniel Bryan got the tap, you knew they had to do this. I don't have a problem with it. Doesn't mean I'm entertained by it. Sometimes you just watch too much wrestling and you know what's going to happen. I'm sure most of you guys are in that same boat. If you watch enough wrestling that you're watching me talk about it, then you probably watch too much wrestling. It could mean Ambrose is coming back. I heard that, he's close. And if you guys have noticed, there has not been interference in a single match tonight, which would lead you to think that they want the match where there's going to be interference to feel really special. Still, though, it's like there's no big picture thinking. That would be just as big if it happened third match down the, third match left. All people are going to see, no matter what happens, is that Reigns is main eventing. And they're going to boo. Let's go ahead and take that out. See, watching wrestling during school, though, that's not watching too much wrestling. That's picking an appropriate time to watch wrestling. It's a good thing I didn't have the ability to watch wrestling in school. I would have never graduated. Who won which match, Patrick? Where you been, 5-Speed? There's 4 matches left. Only one of them is Raw branded. This now almost feels like a SmackDown pay-per-view with a couple guest appearances by Raw superstars. Look at this. I'm gonna bounce when this is over because I'm gonna watch the post show. I want to see Daniel Bryan and The Miz cross paths. That's going to be the money. I'm more excited now about the post show than I am the actual pay-per-view. Daniel Bryan won. He got him the tap, and then to get his heat back, they had Big Cass beat the living crap out of Daniel. I agree with you, Matt. Joe needs to come out and dominate him for this reason. The people that are booing Roman are booing him because they keep booking him strong. And like Jim Cornette always says, how can we miss you if you never go away? Do some kind of injury. Let Roman go away for a little bit. Just a little bit, because they're never going to stop booing him. And I'm one of them booing him if you don't do some kind of reset with him. So what do you guys got? There's like literally 2 ways this can go. Charlotte comes out, wins the belt, and I was wrong. So they're going to have those 3 matches. They're going to put the Braun and Bobby match in the middle, I guess. Charlotte comes out and wins this match in less than a minute. Gets her belt back, goes on down the road. That's one option. Or you get the screw job where Carmella keeps the belt through, like, disqualification. That's the only 2 options I see. There's no match that Charlotte and Carmella are going to have with each other that will go more than 180 seconds. Of course, this being WWE, they'll go 15 minutes. I don't see the Asuka heel turn coming. I just don't see it yet. I see Becky being the one to turn heel. Both of those, Kron and Matt, are those are the two ways to go. Honestly, I don't have a problem with either one of them. I mean, we all know Charlotte is better. We all know Becky is better. I would almost prefer they figure out a way to keep the belt on Carmella and then let somebody like Becky have a shot at it. Maybe then, have some kind of excitement. As it stands, if Charlotte's in the match, she beat Asuka, for God's sake. There's no real worry that she's going to lose any matches. They have ruined her, but unlike Roman, she has the ability, I believe, she could turn it around in 1 week. Becky could. Heel turn, I really think she could get unburied quickly, but yeah, they have buried Becky deep. Yeah, this women's match is kind of like the other women's match they've got restrictions going in. There are certain things that can't happen. I don't know what it is about Carmella, because, and it's not really even a looks thing, because she's kind of weird looking. I enjoy whatever it is she's doing as far as being a heel. Has every champion come out last tonight? I don't remember. Hey Tab, how you doing? Yeah, Charlotte versus Rowdy at WrestleMania. That is the dumbest reasoning I've ever heard. And then they just buried the 3 years in the making to beat that streak, and then Charlotte barely even, talked about it. They should have made something more of it. They should have done something with it. Should have made it count. Yeah, Carmella's not unattractive, but that's exactly it. It's the voice, man. It's something there. I enjoy a person that if they're supposed to be a bad guy, that you don't like them. That's the purpose. Not like Kevin Owens, who's probably my favorite performer right now in the WWE, who's supposed to be a heel, but come on. How can you really dislike Zayn and Owens? Carmella, I can dislike. It's my girlfriend, everybody. Tabitha H. Coming on to let us know she's doing laundry. Not my laundry, mind you. I do my own. AJ versus Daniel at WrestleMania. I don't have a problem with AJ versus Daniel at WrestleMania. As silly as it sounds, man, I would almost rather they figure out a way to keep The Miz and Daniel Bryan away from each other for almost a year and have that match at WrestleMania. Now, I know they're going, as we in the U.S. call it, overseas. In the UK, they're going to have that match like 6 times, but did you catch the part earlier, Matt? That match is out there. You can see a good 12 minutes of it from the other night. I dislike the ring announcing. Just bring back Chimmel. Poor man's Chimmel. Couldn't find my cord. There we are. At Mania, I would love to see that too. We only get one Mania a year, and I'll be honest with you. I think Shinsuke is on a short clock. I think he's probably got less than 2 years left with WWE. I have no reason why I feel that way. I just think that he's got like 18 months left, and then he's going to go back to New Japan and finish up. Can anybody hear Corey's... why does Corey sound so whiny? All right, that's enough of that. They've gone too far with Corey wanting to badger the other announcers. There we go. Is that it? And, you know, at a certain point, it's like he's such a tough guy when he's talking to these dudes. And you know Byron can't just reach over and pimp slap Corey. So Corey can basically just get away with saying whatever he wants. You know, the thing that happens a lot of times with that, though, Matt, that nobody ever talks about is one day you'll hear that they were told to tone it down, or they were told to take it down about 20 notches, and they couldn't do anything because they didn't want to kill the main event. Seth and The Miz was a good indication of that tonight. When you see a match like that out of Seth and The Miz, you can best believe that AJ and Nakamura were told to take it way down at WrestleMania. WWE's trying to find a way to make this match last. For what reason, I don't know. Was that a wardrobe malfunction, anybody? Anybody? Carmella countering the figure four was more offense than she should have been able to show already. Run away. See now? They are misplaying Carmella's like skill set. That's way more skill than she's shown. I mean, that kick was like right on the button, as they say. Of course, we all know Charlotte had to lean down into it. You know what? I'll tell you why AJ didn't have to go through NXT. It was a perfect storm of things. They were short of quite a few people. He is AJ Styles. He's been wrestling, I know, 20 years. I understand about Nakamura. Nakamura went not because he couldn't wrestle, but because they were trying to refine his style. He was used to fighting strong style, and you watch him and Sami Zayn at that first TakeOver, a great match, but he beat the piss out of Sami Zayn. The other thing that kept AJ on the main roster was that response at Royal Rumble. It's like widely known, McMahon had really no clue who AJ Styles was. And when he heard that response, it was okay for him to stay up there. That was the main indicator. See? I like Carmella when she's doing crap like this, but you know, you show Carmella as somebody that can't wrestle anyone for more than 90 seconds ever, and you present Charlotte as someone that can beat anyone, ended the streak. So how is it that we are even supposed to take Carmella seriously, even if they have, like, it's accidental she's this far in the match? When did she suddenly develop these skills? What's that, Matt? What don't you understand? I don't understand WWE logic most of the time, personally. She has it all day. I'm not that disappointed. I enjoy Carmella, but this makes no sense from a logic standpoint. This is basically Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss, but Charlotte is in the role of Nia. I'm going to scream your name while slapping your back. That's kind of hot. Carmella came along like 15 years too late. Been a lot of tongue from people tonight. If one of you guys can tell me how this is building Charlotte for Ronda Rousey, I would be much obliged. I'd very much appreciate it. Because I'm not getting it. Run, Carmella, run. Ow. It's a little thing, but do you guys notice Carmella took those full on like a man. She didn't feed into it. If you get the chops and you put your shoulder down, you kill the chop. To get the chop properly and for it to hurt, you have to go back. You have to give yourself up. Oh, that was nice. That was efficient. And like she could put her arms down, Carmella could, and you could block the impact of her face actually hitting. I like that move from Charlotte. The knee to the head, down to the mat. I'd like to see that again. Like, not right now, I mean in another match. I don't know, Patrick. She's going to bite her tongue off. Yeah, if she's not careful. It's funny that that's what gets the replay. I understand the apron's the hardest part of the mat, but still. All the reasons that they had for not pushing Lana when Lana was getting... She just punched her in the throat. I'd be curious to see if she gives her a receipt right there. All the reasons they had for not pushing Lana, suddenly stiff, is being blown up right here because Carmella just overnight learned to be like the next Lou Thez. Like yesterday, she sucked. Today, amazing. Well, yeah, and I wanted to see Lana. I love the outfit they had her wrestling in. But they just were basically in storyline and whatever. Well, we can't take you seriously. You never wrestled. But Carmella suddenly... Two times she has had a counter for the figure four. That is a nice move. And you know, this just goes to show you guys, A, Charlotte is doing a lot of this work. Tombstoner won't happen. But a lot of these people that are credited with like the Women's Revolution and all their great matches, Carmella just rolled up in here and she's having a pretty damn good match. The problem with this match is it came basically out of nowhere with no prep and there's just like no logic with it. 3 times. They've done it so many times, they're foreshadowing something with it. Oh my God! This is where you need the graphic of the dude from WrestleMania with. Do you ever feel like there is a guy that is sitting somewhere watching, like us talk, and they book things simply to go, you didn't expect that, did you? Didn't make any sense, but you didn't expect it. You got us, WWE. We did not expect that. Hey guys, help me out. Let's give Devin some results. Seth Rollins won. Nia Jax won, and it was amazing that she won without ever changing her facial expression. What else did we get? We then got like a 20-minute thing. Jeff Hardy won clean over Randy Orton. Daniel Bryan won. Yes, good call. Then Big Cass beat the hell out of him. Then we just got like, what, a 20-minute match? Where Carmella suddenly went from being like a joke to the, like, a modern day whatever, Ric Flair. This match is literally like the WWE saying, oh, you guys really complained when Charlotte beat Asuka and ended the streak at WrestleMania, and then you felt that nothing was done with it. Well, now we're really going to make that match mean even less. Did we miss any matches? I think we got them all. There's been no tag team titles defended tonight. Who? Carmella? Are they going to finally give Carmella a push? You know, for somebody that, go back. Like I say, I'm a big SmackDown. That's my brand of the two. They had periods of time where Carmella didn't win for like 2 months and then she would disappear. But they did have her become the first Money in the Bank champion. I don't know. I would say sure, it would make sense if they would push her, but then based on this logic, tomorrow night, she'll lose. But here's another important thing. We have now gone this deep in the card, and there has not been a single match where someone came out to interfere. Even Mickie James wasn't even out at ringside. So those of you that are calling for the Ambrose interference in the main event, may be onto something. When's the last time you've seen this many clean finishes in WWE matches? And then no matter what happens here, you can kind of call it a clean finish because it's a no DQ. And so I'm going to go ahead and try to give an explanation because there may only be one or there may be 10, but there's always at least one. When Roman Reigns comes out later and he gets booed to high hell, part of the reason he's getting booed to high hell is because you have the two best athletes, the World Championship, the WWE Championship. You have what should be the main event coming on now. You have a guy like Roman that's on a losing streak fighting Joe in the main event. Why? That's why people continue to boo Reigns no matter what he does. And that's why he needs to go away for a while and maybe undo some of the damage that's been done to him. Well, you know, that wasn't my idea that Ambrose was going to come out. I mean, you can read up. There's been a couple, 3 people that have thrown it out there tonight in various times. I never even thought about it. But once somebody put it in my head earlier, there's been no interference tonight. So it leads you to believe that it's going to happen. I purposely didn't read spoilers. I usually quit reading about 3 hours before. The last headline I saw is that there were 2 WWE performers in town at the airport that had not been on the roster or hadn't been seen on TV in a while. My guess would be, if we go back and look, it'll be one of those that interferes in the main event. Why is Joe on SmackDown? Because Joe versus AJ is exciting. Joe versus Nakamura is exciting. Joe versus Daniel Bryan is exciting. Joe versus Elias? Anybody? Joe versus the Volcano? Joe versus Reigns? Joe versus Lashley? That would be my reason, but I'm sure that is giving too much credit to WWE. They probably looked at it as a demotion. I think it's super funny that the WWE's response, that they didn't, the way they were going to keep people from cheering Nakamura was to add the rap version of this so people couldn't sing along to his song. Honestly, I do. Which even makes it more frustrating that it improves, like, it makes it where AJ had to have a no DQ to lose, and it had to be fishy. But again, it still falls in the parameters of the match. If AJ is ever going to lose to Nakamura, it's tonight. But then again, you're right back to the fact that, it's predetermined. So WWE's like, well, a Japanese superstar is not as important as Roman Reigns, so him winning the belt, we're going to put it third down the thing. I don't know. I believe that somewhere in a closet, Triple H is punching the walls out right now over some of these type decisions. And maybe I have too much faith in him, but based on NXT, I have a little. I think if Triple H was in charge of this would be the last match of the night. Tube lights. That's something that hasn't been seen in WWE maybe ever. But as we all know, Ambrose, that's where he comes from. And I'll tell you, it may have changed now because this has been a couple years ago. But probably twice in 6 months, I saw Ambrose at house shows for WWE. And, it is like the deal. Call them by their current gimmick name. Don't call them by the old name, because that just means that you're a mark. But I'm guilty. I called him Moxley both times. And when I called him Moxley, he stopped, turned, found me, and they came over both times and gave me the knuckle bump. I don't know. Maybe he enjoys being called John Moxley, but it got his attention both times that I saw him and did it. He stopped what he was doing literally dead in his tracks and turned around to look for the person that said it. I think guys like him probably get tired of being told by the WWE that, you didn't exist before you came here. It's probably nice to be recognized that they, people did see some of their other work. John Moxley would be way more welcome by me than Dean Ambrose. I just, Shinsuke is the last of a breed that's getting the raw deal of guys that are legitimate-ish wrestlers that the WWE doesn't take seriously. If Shinsuke come along 3 years from now, I think he would have gotten a bigger push. But I can't ever complain that, you know, somebody's not getting pushed at the sake of AJ getting pushed, because what are you going to do? He deserves it. Was that a 3-level building? Yeah, they got 3 levels. I don't know if you guys keep track of that type of thing. The vast majority of the time, especially like when you see Raw anymore or SmackDown, they have to black out part of the top or the second level. They had people 3 levels up all the way around. Do it. Say it. They're going to stop him from doing the come on thing because that gets too much of a crowd reaction before long. I like what Cody's doing, but Shinsuke would kick his ass. I bought the Ring of Honor. Damn, that's horrible. I paid $10 a month. Don't even remember what it is. Their ripoff of the WWE Network Honor Club. I waited until I could get it on Roku so I could watch it on TV like this. I think, man, when they get that thing, they get it straightened out. Ring of Honor's got something on their hands. They're doing something that WWE doesn't do over there. They run house shows. They put up a camera and show you house shows as they happen. You may get 3 nights worth of wrestling sometimes. Well worth the $9, even if you don't get, you know, like pyro or a light show. You still get the wrestling. Stiff kick. You guys been keeping up with the Bullet Club pay-per-view? The All In? They've got a seating released for it. You can go online and see the diagram of the place where they're going to wrestle. I think they'll get 10,000 people in there easy. I don't... Nowadays, with like the internet, it's not what it used to be. They were almost at a point where if they just said, we really want 10,000 people, I think they can do it. I don't miss Sami Callihan a bit because I see him probably 3 times a week. He's on MLW. He's on Impact. He's on Lucha Underground. I see more Sami Callihan now, I believe, than probably, I know I do, than I ever did when he was on NXT. Oh, come on. OVE, yes. I wasn't going to pay Impact for that last pay-per-view, but I would be interested to watch it. That's the first thing they've done in a while as far as pay-per-view goes that I've been interested in. Anthony, I can't show you the match, but I can tell you what's happening. They've changed the AJ Nakamura match to an Inferno match. For only the 3rd time in history, they have the fire around the ring. And each time these guys hit, the flame shoots straight up in the air. Nakamura's hair caught fire earlier, but they said that didn't count because it wasn't actually part of his body, so half of his hair has been burned off. It's amazing. I know. What I recommend, Anthony, is you get out there and you just keep Googling it. Better hurry, though, because anybody that has that stream up will have it taken down quickly. I thank you, Matt. Oh. Corey's, oh my God, splash. At least they let him say God. We're over the period of time where everybody had to say gosh for a few weeks. Thanks, Anthony. I appreciate. You still got time, Anthony. Go take and get any email. Go to the WWE and get your free month. Then you can watch this great pay-per-view in its entirety. And no, I don't work for WWE. They just make it so easy anymore. It frustrates me that I pay them from month to month because I've got, for like business, personal, etc. I'm sure most people do. I've got like 6 emails. And on 5 of those emails on a monthly basis, they're always telling me how they're going to give me the WWE Network for free. But no, my dumb ass keeps paying for it. You see the tear on AJ's trunks? They may have to stop this match for wardrobe malfunction. I don't need to see little AJ come popping out. Maybe that's what they're going to do, set his gimmick on fire. Oh, there you go. Nice knee drop. I don't know. He's got, what, 6 kids? Probably would be for the best if they did burn little AJ. Wherever Paul Heyman's at, he would be damn angry he didn't think of that finish. Cool, cool. Thanks for stopping in, Anthony. Most of this is going to be censored by tomorrow, though, Anthony, I'm sure. Especially if AJ's gimmick comes out. That would be the be-all, end-all. I'm always down for an R-Truth appearance, sadly. I'm one of the few people that still enjoy him. Nicely done, Matt. Ooh. Rangy striker. You know, the thing about this match, they've built these two up so much. What the hell is this? They've built these two up so much, there's literally, what can they do that's going to impress us or make us happy? Within the confines of what WWE will allow them to do. Now, if they would have a New Japan style match, yes, we would all be very impressed, but it's never going to happen. 2 knees, 2 chests. If anybody out there watches wrestling, I think Corey has been watching too many Jim Harbaugh interviews with that. Oh, that was a stiff kick. I don't even think he had to sell that. There we go. Classic Jericho. All he needed to say was, "Come on, baby." See, that's why Kevin Dunn sucks. Nakamura's not pulling the knees. When you change that camera angle, you make me think that he's not getting the job done. But somewhere in that sequence, they didn't change the camera angle, and it was much more impressive for me to see it than for you to go to the other side like he can't do his job. And God, don't get me started when they're doing the punches and they're fake bouncing the camera. Ugh. Homeboy, somebody texted him and told him that people online were making fun of his hat. Or Vince McMahon told somebody to go down and tell him, take off that hat. A lot of crowd noise. I'm telling you guys, the earbuds add a whole different dimension to this. What you say? Guy says, you suck. So if there's no disqualification, then there's no count out, right? Or is there somebody still trying to count this? Easy, Corey. Take it easy, buddy. I'll tell you what, that's thankful. Daniel and Cass didn't need to go any longer. I'm glad it was the shortest. That's two guys that can work right there. That was... And you guys think, what is AJ, 38, 39? So much of his career, so many things that he used to be able to do, he can't do anymore. That's like one of the main reasons I hope that someday WWE gets the TNA library so that people can see, like, I hate to say in his prime, but can see a younger AJ when he was doing, like, way more moves. As great as he is, he's cut down his move set probably 40-50%. There you go. That is a logical way to get a guy on the top rope for that knee. Shinsuke missed leg day at the gym, it looks like. There you go. Do they have false count anywhere matches anymore? Once a year, maybe? Like, other places do. I see them often, but like in WWE, only for special occasions. That's how you can tell the impact, is when they show it from behind and you see the back of the body reacting to the impact as well as the front. I really, as I'm watching this match, this should be the one for Nakamura to win, but I don't know. Nakamura is everything that Vince McMahon does not want. If you were to be standing right now next to Nakamura, I'm sure he would be a very impressive looking dude. But like, he's not overly muscular. Muscular, there's the word. He's not what Vince wants. I liked some of what they were doing during the Aces and Eights. I always thought that Bully Ray should have brought that gimmick to the WWE, the Bully Ray character, when he was full on, and he could have done some pretty good things with it, but they didn't do it. He went right back to the tie-dye. Are you keeping up with any of the NWA stuff that's going on, Matt? Oh, was it? I was wondering if he meant to do that. He's wearing knee pads, guys, so don't worry too much. Pro tip from old Greg here. Old Greg. I'm sorry, I'm ruining the, suspension of disbelief. I'm sure it hurt very much. Tell you what, Matt, check out the NWA stuff your dad is watching. I think you might enjoy it. It's not much of an investment. It's nice. It's like 5 minutes a day sometimes. They don't have a TV show. And they've taken Magnus from TNA and taken him from a joke to somebody I might actually enjoy watching. What was that? That kicked back into AJ's face. Is he going to come back? Is he bleeding? That went wrong. That was a botch because that came back and hit AJ right in the face. No blood? Oh, there it is. That's legit. That is legit. Yeah. Oh, damn. Did you hear it hit the second time? Listen, listen, listen. Oh. That second was the corner off his face. That's where we need Jim Ross. Jim Ross would say, but they teach them how to take the chair to the face sideways. Mastar was one. Colt Cabana. They've had, let's see, the dude from, not Impact, from Lucha Underground, Son of Havoc. Let's see, Tommy Dreamer. I like the fact that he can, he is a legitimate world's champion. He will show up on a House of Hardcore show with his belt. He goes to Ring of Honor with his belt. He goes and fights David Starr with his belt. I don't know. I like the overall feeling that this dude is going around from place to place and actually doing what Ric Flair used to do. As opposed to, the WWE champion that fights the same 7 guys week after week, year after year. Yeah, it's just type in, NWA Wrestling. Watch the 10 Pounds of Gold. Just, if you watch that, whoa, AJ. They start with this dude that, when, oh my God, I just Joey Styles myself. That was a receipt for the, that was like AJ just woke the hell up. This was, You now wonder if AJ's a little bit dinged and maybe he's not quite in his right facilities. Anyway, watch the 10 Pounds of Gold. They start with a guy named Tim Storm that, anybody else that would have bought the NWA would have just reset it and got rid of that guy, but they kept this dude that was really kind of a nobody and tell his story before they move on. Whoa. Oh, there it is. It's okay, guys. He can do that in this match. Tim Storm. You know what? Tim Storm is 53 years old, and he's a school teacher. And he is living proof of what a difference a haircut can make. He looks like a pretty badass dude right now. You go back 3 years, and he had kind of a mustache and a mullet. And dude, double nuts. These guys are nuts. He looked like the biggest spaz ever. Haircut, looks like a badass. I love the fact that they didn't stop the match and have somebody come down and tape up AJ because it wasn't scripted for there to be blood here. There we go. I'll say at this moment, they've got me roped in because I have no clue who's going to win this match. What do you guys think? Man, since that chair shot, AJ's impact has gotten a lot stiffer. Yeah, man, that's like a safety thing anymore. That's part of the reason they've done away with the blood is like, concerns of bacteria and whatever. Of course we all will, but when you guys go back at some point and watch this match again, you watch AJ pre-chair to the face, double nutter, as far as his punches and his forearms connecting. And then since he took that chair to the face, you go look at the impact that he's having. Now, there were some hard kicks, but I'm talking mostly like punches or forearms. Man, he's laying that shit in since he got hit in the face with a chair. I don't know if, that's just like natural reaction. If like his instincts kicked in or if he's legit like pissed at Nakamura over it. You guys still see me all right? I just got a message that my stream has slowed down. Are you serious? Man, if it did slow down, it picked a good time too, because that is the lamest ending maybe ever. They're going to end this now like this. Are you serious? That's not how it works, man. That's not... Anything goes. Anything goes, but if you can't get up, we're going to end the match. What a load of crap. There's the true answer as to why this didn't close the pay-per-view, because people would have rioted if you had the World Championship end in a no contest. On a match where anything goes. Yeah, I'm calling BS too, man. I'm not only calling it, I'm screaming it. Horrible. It's a shame too, because this match was good. This, up until that, was the best, in my opinion, the best of the ones I've seen. They had one on SmackDown, one at Mania, and then the greatest... That was, like, in stereo right there. The greatest Royal Rumble ever. This was the best one of the bunch. But the ending, man... Corny. Still no interference. When's the last time you guys saw a pay-per-view where no one interfered? AJ's like, my boys. This is like they synchronized dance. The way they both go down together. I guess they had to go down together if the count's legit. If one went down first, then they would be the winner, because it would be yeah. I'm a little slow, folks. It was synchronized on purpose. Yeah, sometimes even I, not very smart. Took me this long to figure that out, that it was done on purpose. Don't let it end like that. Go back, AJ. Tell him you're not going to take that win. Ask the referee to give you a rub down and get back in there. Uh-oh. It's the commercial that pissed off Saudi Arabia, folks. All the indecency. There we go. Even with like two networks, sometimes I'll get lag on one and have to switch over if you see me moving my headphone jack around. Maybe that's why Carmella won. Because, Saudi Arabia fell in love with her. For the three of you that don't know what I'm talking about, it was a major deal that somehow this ad slipped through during the greatest Royal Rumble ever. And Saudi Arabia actually apologized to the people of Saudi Arabia for the indecency of this commercial. Silly, yes. Two more matches, but don't forget, the post-show is going to be better than the pay-per-view. I'm still waiting on one of you guys to explain to me how the hell Carmella suddenly, was she in the Matrix? Did she download a fighting style into her brain and learn to wrestle that quick? Okay, it looks like the stream is back up to really good. Yay. Braun Strowman, huge guy. Crowd loves him. Really ridiculous some of the things they've had him do, but he still gets over. Crowd still loves him. But WWE won't push him. Roman Reigns can't buy applause, but they continue to shove him up our ass. I don't understand it. That bump they had right there with Shane, there was a moment there where it looked like Shane wasn't going to make the table. I went back and watched my reaction. I thought he was a dead man. So I remember earlier we were calling for the Lashley turn here. I think it's too soon. Where's his belt? His big green belt. Yes, John, it is Elizabeth Salander coming, sitting with the hand out of the ground. I did reboot, guys. Did that help the picture any at all? Why is the post show better? Because they're going to have Daniel Bryan and The Miz in the same place at the same time on the same format that actually got them over to begin with their feud. I know it's only going to be them passing each other, but I'm telling you, that has the potential to be the best thing all night. So I'm going to take this moment as we get our entrances to adjust a couple things real quick. Mostly get some more water. You guys get by with me without me for about 4 minutes. If the match lasts that long, I'll be right back. That guy right there in the white shirt, he's pleased. Let's see if I can adjust my streams as well. Maybe that'll fix things. I see you people commenting. On the off chance that suddenly I go away, I'll be back in like 2 or 3 minutes. I've been sitting here having to adjust some things constantly. I don't know. It's like my neighbor must have, I don't know, suddenly put the world's biggest computer online. because my quality has been going up and down. I'm supposed to have business class speed. Well, if the business is McDonald's, no vodka today, water. Ray Rougeau looks like the dude that they fired that couldn't remember anything. The guy that called Jeff Hardy Jeff Harvey. Yeah, that ending was all-time bad. KFC speed. Yes, sir. I hate that they have Sammy and Kevin in a spot where they're kind of being jobbed out here. I ain't gonna lie, man, I lost respect for them a long time ago. Occasionally, they'll get my hopes up, but I'm usually proven wrong. WWE is like that girlfriend that you know once had some good times with, but now she cheats on you and she's a horrible person, but you keep trying to have faith, and then again and again she just proves to you that, yeah, she wasn't the one for you. That's a good answer, Matt. You know what really surprises me is they have not played it up at all. Well, no, now that I think about it, it doesn't. I kind of get it, I guess. You know, like the last time Bobby Lashley was here, he main evented WrestleMania with Donald Trump in his corner when they shaved Vince McMahon's head. I guess because of the political thing, they're not going to try to get into that, but like wrestling fans, I don't think care as far as that goes. The other thing about Lashley is while he was in Impact, he learned to cut a promo. I haven't heard him say more than 5 words since he's been back. MVP was always kind of a weird thing. I never understood why he went away. He started late in life, and he went to Japan and had some really great matches. He does a lot with MLW wrestling. I would like to see him one time come back before Matt Hardy ends this run and have him and Matt Hardy have some kind of mini feud. Just for old time's sake. Like my favorite stuff MVP ever did. Other than the legitimate fire match with Kane. There's only been 2 of those Inferno matches in the history of WWE. And MVP was in one of them. But other than that, was his feud with Matt Hardy. Lashley, come on, buddy. Careful. Don't mess up Braun's, whatever the hell that thing is. His giant cup. Hey, look, Bill Nye's there. Announcing. Nice bow tie. Yes, the giant. I loved that intro. And you know, the ticking clock, for whatever reason, is one that somebody should be using now. Nice senton. It's insane to me that you've got Bobby Lashley in the spot as the guy that's getting the beat down so somebody else can come in with the heat. That's when you've got overkill, when Bobby Lashley is your guy taking the beating, when he's the Robert Gibson of the group. Do you see the angle that Zayn was hitting him with those punches? And the way he took the headband off? Is he trying to hardway him for some reason? Like, that's the oldest trick in the book for trying to get a guy to bleed when you don't want to use a razor. You protrude your knuckle and then you down at an angle to where the bone and the skin are thin. MVP had a moment at Impact when they brought him out and they were doing like the modern day Nation of Domination for a second. It was one of the better things on TV, but it was too political. I thought that they weren't going to get to play it out, and they didn't. I have not seen anybody hit that move. And somebody tell me why I'm wrong. How is that not the same as Miz's finisher? Is it the leg trap? But if Lashley's using it as a transition move and then Miz has had people kick out of it twice, they're just killing Miz's finisher dead. Man, I want to see Kevin and Sami transition out of this with Braun after this match. Ugh. Don't do it. Kevin Owens is going to get it. Yep. It's funny how things change and how people's perspective change without anything ever really being done. Inside Out. Braun's character has not really changed from when him and Sami were having the thing of, what was it, last year before Sami went to SmackDown, where Mick Foley was begging Sami not to wrestle him anymore and the crowd was all rooting for Sami. Braun really hasn't changed any. Of course, Sami has, but now they cheer what they were booing. That kick is... Go. Leave. We give you permission. What do you mean, no? He's going to have Sami going, there he goes, Sami, even better. Are they trying to turn Kevin or what? Because that's so against Owens' character that he's like going to stay, we're going to stay and fight. Beatdown Clan, that's what it was. Here we go. Oh. There you go, Sami. It was an accident that I slapped you. Bobby Lashley just screamed like someone killed his mother. Did you guys hear that? I'm not going to reenact it. It would blow out my mics. Homeboy likes to shoot all these angles. Always wants to change the angle, but he leaves it right on the angle where Kevin Owens is assisting by keeping his hand on Bobby Lashley's stomach. You can't shoot it from the back. You, being the great director, won't ever trust people to throw punches, but you're always going to get that shot in. Whatever. Sammy stayed in character at least. At least Sammy did. Well, we're finally there, friends. Run, Sammy. Bad booking. Why are you going to make it unsympathetic than have the one guy over on Raw appear to be a jerk by having him just continue to beat on him? Yes and no. Bobby Lashley will show up to work every week. Bobby Lashley has a better attitude. He's a nicer guy. Okay, that was awkward. Braun wanted to take a corner. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Almost de-pantsed him. See, this begins to feel like we're supposed to be rooting for Sammy and Kevin. I mean, what did Sammy and Kevin do to these two guys? I don't recall them really doing anything to Braun. Batista called. He wants his thumbs up, thumbs down back, Braun. So here we go. Here's the great thing about co-branded. Co-branded means no Finn Balor. Co-branded means we're back to having no tag team belts defended. Co-branded. It's funny that they led that with Dean, wasn't it? The very first person you see is Dean Ambrose. Are we getting 4 matches or are we getting 2? 1 women, 1 men? Are we getting a SmackDown and a Raw? Men and women? How's that going to work? And I am legit more excited. Oh, they took Daniel Bryan off. Did they really do that? Did you hear that? I am no longer excited about the post show. I believe the WWE is watching this stream and working against us. So let's go ahead and just watch the WWE book themselves into oblivion by me telling you the only bad outcome for this is for Reigns to pin Joe. Why is that, Greg? Because Joe is back, he's strong, and he's going to a different brand. Roman is on like a cold streak, and they can show, look, he's injured, he's beat up. So why have him beat Samoa Joe? So of course that means he'll beat the piss out of Samoa Joe. Hey, Jason, I'm with you. See, and then you insult our intelligence. with the whole Brock is McMahon's boy when we all know it's Roman and they're basically turning it on their head, and then you get people that actually like buy into this fictional garbage. Oh, God. Just end it already. Just like reset it. Bring Seth in. Let Seth be the champ. Have Seth somehow beat Brock. Have Roman be gone when it happens. And then have Roman come back. I don't know. Don't call him a heel or a face. Just have him come back. He'll get booed. But have Paul with him. Eventually, the fans will turn around. But when you keep jamming him up our ass, it's just never, ever going to work. Because, you know, this whole, we're going to make people feel sorry for Roman. I don't feel sorry for him. Keep beating him. I don't care if I would cheer if he loses 75 more matches in a row. I still won't cheer him. Right now, Joe has the best angry mad guy promo in the company. You guys got somebody that can give a better I'll kick your ass, I'm angry promo than Joe? That's all they got to do, Matt. And the thing, they're leaving money on the table with Roman. They don't have to turn him. They let him be him and just tweak a couple things. Let people boo him. And for about 2 months, he would be the biggest heel in the history of the company. And then fans would kind of do... Everybody uses The Rock as an example, which is a great one. But here's a better one for now that shows that it still works with this crowd. New Day came out, and they were supposed to be cheered. But they were booed out of the building. But New Day was smart enough, and they didn't have oversight of Vince McMahon, that they leaned into what was getting them booed. And very quickly, people realized, oh, we can't shake or rattle these guys. They're not going to go with us booing them for being positive. It's obvious they don't want to do this. Let's cheer them. So they were supposed to be cheered. They got booed. They didn't change anything. They leaned into it and started getting cheered for something that should have never worked. The first time I ever saw Samoa Joe, he was, I'm trying to think who he was against. I want to say it was against Seth Rollins, but of course it was Ring of Honor, so he wasn't Seth Rollins. And then it wasn't very long after that I saw him in TNA. I don't know if it's still that way, but for the longest time, the highest pay-per-view they ever had was Joe versus Angle, like in the company history. Main Event Mafia. Dude, that was another one that should have gotten over. TNA had so much talent. You look at the last two matches. Joe and Bobby Lashley were on the TNA roster at the same time. Bobby Roode from the night, TNA. AJ Styles, TNA. Literally half the roster right now feels like it's 2013, 2012 TNA. Yeah, Angle's back too. I think part of the reason Jeff Jarrett got that damn Hall of Fame is right now he supplied them with half of their talent. Reigns turned the corner with me a long time ago. He doesn't have heat. He's got go-away heat. And I'm not going to call it X-Pac heat like a lot of people do, because I'm going to tell you something. People booed X-Pac because they didn't like him. They didn't boo him because they were just simply sick of him and didn't want to see him. It's an insult to X-Pac to call it X-Pac heat. Roman has go-away heat. Nobody wants to see you anymore, dude. We're over it. Go take some time. Go read some stories to your daughter and play Little Teapot or whatever. Oh, Mohawk guy. Q is 2 rooms over studying his ass off to graduate. He's in perfect shape except for one class, which I won't name because, maybe his teacher's watching. You never know. So I'll leave him be. But he's got one class he's having to work to the end. And when I say work to the end, when he's not working or making videos, he's working. It's funny you mention him, though. It's like Candyman. You say his name and he just popped out of the room. Don't say his name 3 times. God knows. Hey, Q, you're missing this Roman Reigns match. Okay, here we go. I'm going to see, man. You guys called it. You guys called all night that there was going to be a Dean Ambrose sighting. And you got me on board by the fact there has been no interference in any matches tonight. End him! Thank you, Joe. Didn't tip over the water. Holy smokes! Holy smokers! He knocked over that table, guys! You know what would really set Roman off and make him would be the impetus for him to be the worst bad guy ever? Make it where every belt and every match he's ever won has been taken away from him by a new GM. Kind of like they take NCAA games away from teams. The new GM comes in and says, you have been cheating consistently since day one. You are wearing a chest protector. You are wearing gear that protects you from any kind of harm in an entire region of your body. None of your matches count. That's how you get him started as a heel. Not really. I just always like to get the chest protector in. He's a good guy and we're supposed to take him seriously and he's got friggin' body armor on. Brock, I don't know why Brock would come out to play any mind games with Roman. Roman has proven, obviously, he's beneath Brock. We're getting the Joe's gonna kill you chant. Match hasn't started yet. I don't know, man. I like Matt and Bray as a tag team if they let them work together. There's those shitty camera angles. Stop moving the camera, for F's sake. Let the man work. He's a professional wrestler. He can throw punches without you shaking the camera. This is the equivalent. And they still do it. You don't even notice it. But it's not as pronounced now. Right there. In the 80s and 90s, they have strobe lights around the entire arena. Anytime there was a punch or a high impact, they would hit the strobe light. Go back, watch wrestling in slow motion from the old days. And every time there was an impact, the entire screen would go white. Your mind registers it, but you don't even see it. There's a disconnect there. I hear something. I hear a baby. Right in the middle of the main event. I don't know where this baby came from. I don't know if the baby's jumping in. But it was good to see you, baby. Goodbye, baby.
Say bye-bye, Gigi.
Rock and roll. Bye, baby. Anyway, the screen shaking is exorbitant. in addition to the light. Yes, to the leader of worlds. There was literally a baby in here. You never know what's going to happen from one minute to the next. Really? I did not expect this tonight. A baby came in here, blew bubbles, and left. That is a true story. This is a pain I was talking about. Uranagi. Another thing that annoys me about Cole is he learns one Japanese word per year and then he beats it to death. We'll hear the word Uranagi 12 more times tonight. The dreaded head chin push lock move banned in 50 states, 2 territories. This is why people don't like Roman. CM Punk chant. You're right. Nobody wants it. Just end him. So based on what him telling us crap over and over, it looks like Roman's going to win. Why else would you have him saying this? Tweezers. I just found tweezers. Punch. Punch. I wonder what magical move next we're going to get from Roman. Perhaps a punch or maybe a kick. CM Punk may surprise you. He'll never wrestle in WWE again. Just so happens that All In happens right down the street from his house. He could literally walk to the venue. Just so happens that a lot of the people that are on that card are personal friends of his. Also just so happens he's been talking to Matt Jackson almost daily. Awesome. Punk takes a lot of crap from people. But you know, to go from being one of the highest paid people in a profession you busted your ass your whole life to do, and then like leaving when you're pretty much at the top of it, to go do something that's legitimate that you're not good at that will end up just getting you hurt for very little money. Can't disrespect the guy. I might question his intelligence, but you know, his integrity is intact with me, I'll say. You okay, Timothy? Go to... Well, I don't know which best in the world shirt you want. He's got his own t-shirt place. What's the name of the damn wrestling t-shirt company? Not WWE. Wrestling Tees, I think. Wrestle Tees? I don't know. Thank you, Pro Wrestling Tees. Go to Pro Wrestling Tees and look in the CM Punk store. Holler at the Hebners. Yes. Hebner's got them in all sizes. Of course, after you wash them, they fall apart. Here's the other thing about wrestling with the WWE now that frustrates me is I understand it's like, if you watch Ring of Honor, if this match was happening in Ring of Honor, it wouldn't feel like they were trying to manipulate me. It's just a match. Have you guys noticed that this match is not in the usual WWE style? That they are purposely making it slow? They are purposely trying to make Joe wrestle the match that's going to make the fans bored. He's just holding Roman there. And it's, they beat you over the head with what they're trying to do. And then the fans boo because Joe was told to go out here and hold these holds. So that when Roman does come back, because they haven't done anything for 10 minutes, the crowd's going to pop. And no. And it's a temporary fix. It may work for half of the crowd for one night, but what happens is the next night, the crowd like me that watched this can see the manipulation, and they're even madder at Roman. Okay, Joe, this is where you make me look strong, like CM Punk said in that podcast. Oh, punches from Roman. Let's play, when's the next time that Roman does something that is not a punch or a kick? And now, of course, the bastard is going to, what's he doing? Weapons don't count. That's not a wrestling move. I want a wrestling move that's not a punch or a kick. Well said, Timothy. That's a kick. The infamous WWE momentum. It's very important to build momentum for things. Suddenly. Okay. Wrestling move anytime now. Surely he's going to do something besides a punch or a kick. A clothesline, very close to a punch. A clothesline. And actually, that's right. I'm going to hit you with one of my 5 moves. Punch. No, Greg, that's a forearm. That's a different move. Thank you, Joe. An inverted atomic drop to get into a senton. Reigns. Punch, punch, punch. Kick, kick, kick. Punch, kick, clothesline. Very close to a punch. Over. And then people go, I don't understand why you don't appreciate the genius that is Roman Reigns. We should play a drinking game. Is it going to be a punch? Or is it going to be a kick? Your side doesn't hurt. You're wearing a chest protector. Ass hat. If you weren't cheating, you would be in pain right now. Elbows. Elbows. Punches, kicks, elbows. Spinebuster! That was a wrestling move. That was a wrestling move, my friends. That's one. There we go. We got one. Damn it, Cole. They started talking because they were going to call the moves. There's a mouse under his eye and there's a rat in the ring with him. Punch or kick, guys. Here we go. Time to roll the dice on the Roman. Oh, it's the spear. It's the dreaded. Oh, no, it wasn't. He was going for the punch. Because everybody knows a punch is more effective when you leave the ground and then punch with nothing too much more effective. It's a proven technique. Here comes a kick. If you had kick, thank you. That was a pretty sweet move. Roll up. Technically, that's two moves. Punch or kick. Punch! Didn't see that coming. Can't believe he pulled off the dreaded punch. He can't get a hardcover. What do we got, guys? Punch, kick, or wrestling move? Get your call in now. Captain Crown's got kicked. Rusev Day. Thank you. Still open. It looked... Spear with... Not a punch or a kick. We have to call it a wrestling move. That's 3 wrestling moves. What's next, guys? I'm going with punch. I got punch on the next one. Punch, kick, or wrestling move? Spear, kick, punch, clothesline. Giving him too much credit. That's almost chain wrestling for Roman. I got punch. This is a point in the match, Corey, where my eyes are burning from watching this much Roman. Just end this. End our misery. Don't make us watch anymore. Oh, really? Not a wrestling move. An accident. Roll up, though, would count. That's a wrestling move. We're up to 4 wrestling moves. 2 of them were roll-ups. One was a spear. Yes, Devin. What a maneuver! And then when they weren't doing that, they could play 1, 2, 3. Ow, he kicked out. 3 weeks away from the NXT takeover, I believe. Yes, we all have the eyes roll back in our head, and we all go limp when we watch Roman. In more ways than one. There's no belts on the line, Joe. You're going to SmackDown. This does nothing for you. Just go out there and beat him to death to take the DQ. Use the ring bell hammer. Okay, here we go, guys. Kick, punch, or wrestling move. You know, after he hits 10 spears, we don't count those anymore. Those were punches. Let's go again. He punched before he hit his 12th spear of the match. Motherfucker won with a goddamn spear. A spear. After like 15 of them. A spear. He won with a spear. He won with like, how many spears did he hit? How many spears did he hit? Like, what? And there were people, why do you boo Roman? Oh, punch, punch, kick, kick, spear, spear, punch, kick, spear, punch, kick, spear, punch, kick. Win. Spectacular. That's why your ratings are in a crapper. That's why your attendance is down. That's why people hate Roman Reigns. A spear. A spear. He won with a spear. That's why I didn't watch that bastard at WrestleMania. That's why I turned it off. That's why I'm going to go back to turning him off. That is garbage. And then you got Fruit Booty and Miss Ambrose going to sit here and tell us what a great match it was. Done. Roman carried Joe. Oh my God. It's good to see some things never change. It is absolutely great to see that the WWE, somebody in a boardroom said, here's what we're going to do. And we're going to end it with us having Roman go over Joe with a spear. And now Joe's going to go and try to be a legitimate badass on SmackDown after we just watched him lose to a spear. Goldberg, when he was the baddest man in the world, didn't beat people with a friggin' spear. It was spear jackhammer. Thanks for watching, guys. I had a good time tonight. A lot of enjoyable wrestling on the old show. Super happy. In my personal opinion, they should have ended the night with Carmella and Charlotte. The Miz Rollins match was good. I liked the Cass Bryan match. I liked AJ and Shinsuke except for the last 2 minutes. But I'm now going to go somewhere and vent on some form of social media because you know you have to sometimes. I'll see you guys for the next pay-per-view. Can't wait. We'll institute the Roman punch kick drink game. I think this is going to be something that we could actually get some mileage out of. You guys have a good night. I'll be back tomorrow with a review. Maybe my voice will be back. Thanks for watching. Spear. Beat him with a spear. Spear.